So Bhagavan Triyadisha Yad Buddhi Avastitim Akanditaya Swadrushtya Drashta Stita Adimako Vyatirikta Ase. Basically, it gives lots of philosophy in this particular verses, almost 10, 15 verses. So again, read Nitya Mukta Parisuddha Vibhuddha Atma. Lord, this is the Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Narayan, Lord Ramachandra. His meditation is explaining, is glorifying the qualities of Supreme Lord. How he is always ever liberated, any form, any shape, any way he comes. He is always liberated. He is never conditioned. Nitya Mukta. We are supposed to be also in that state, but we have chose to do something else. Parisuddha means again the same thing. Vibuddha, completely purified. Intelligence is always fixed. It never goes into the material aspects. Not conditioned. Is intelligence. Atma Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavan Tri Adisha Yad Buddhi Avastitam Akanditaya. Breaking unbroken chain. Akanditaya. We have, I think, there is a devotee named Kandita, I forget the full name. Swadrushtya Drashta Stitau Adimako Vyatirikta Ase. Translation by Srivangesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Don't have time to read word to word, half an hour. Translation: My Lord, by your unbroken transcendental glance, you are the supreme witness. All stages of intellectual activities. So that's why we referred, because Lord again start speaking to Dhruva Maharaj after his prayer. There he's using the same word, Vedaham. Prabhupada picks that up and speaks in this verse purport, 19th purport, 29th purport, multiple verses in this chapter. So if you go back to the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is speaking that it is a matter of personality. It is a personal versus impersonal. Whoever is speaking about impersonal, Lord is impersonal, it is negated here. Because if you are impersonal, how you remember past? How you remember present? How you remember future? Which we told about Vivaswan, Ikshvaku, Manu, so many people. That is all past. So if you remember, that means it's not, because we are not able to remember what is our past one life, what to speak of many lifetimes. So that means Lord is not at the same level as us. What is the meaning of reading Bhagavad Gita if it is same? Lord is also conditioned. Lord also the material form, like Maya, this thing. So that is what is negating here. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness, and your existence in the super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with 6 opulences, and you are eternally the master of the 3 modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entities. As Lord Vishnu, you maintain all the affairs of the entire universe, yet you stand aloof, or the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. This Lord Krishna is speaking almost every chapter. Every chapter is claiming every living entity, whether it's Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Indian, Russian, you name it. Sarva Yonishu Kaunte Sambhavanti Murta is not claiming this Bhagavad Gita is only for Hindus. Let us distribute only Indians. Let's make Indian community. No, that is not the idea of Srila Prabhupada or the Lord Krishna's. This is for everybody, universal. So you distribute to anybody and everybody. So if you're not comfortable, of course you do with Indians only. But the idea is to give more and more. That's why some of the spiritual masters like Radhanath Maharaj, he spends his time a lot with Westerns. Because it's becoming more and more Indian community what to do. Because somebody has to do the work. So different spiritual masters engage in different ways of preaching, and on behalf of Sri Prabhupada, they are taking various tasks. Because everybody has to do different tasks so that the actual full instructions of Sri Prabhupada gets fulfilled. So everybody is doing great, amazing activities. So as disciples, as students of the our Guru Varga, then we have great responsibility to follow, to hear these instructions and see what we can do, how much we can contribute. So try to contribute. So that contemplation will help to come to perfection. If you don't contemplate, you don't follow, you don't hear from spiritual master, you don't do what spiritual master instructing, then it's very difficult to come to become ideal disciple, ideal citizen. So then you will always be in misery, always suffering, always goes through the disturbance, difficulty. Then you can practice devotion service. That's a previous chapter instructions, very key. Narada Muni first instructed before described the Lord, beautiful form of the Lord. He described one verse, 4:8:34, beautiful verse. So where he's describing the same higher than you, you appreciate the quality, you hear from them, you take instruction from them. It is the same as the equal level. So then you be compassionate to them. You don't show your greatness, but you compassionate to them. You try to see how we can help the person. Or you learn also from them. The lower than you, of course, you are even more compassionate. You give your association, you distribute prasad, books, and knowledge and everything. So in these three ways, then you have no more three modes of material. You don't affected. You don't get affected. You don't become morose. You don't lament. You don't get disturbed. So that is a key instruction. 4:8:34. Surichi also instructed in the same way. Suniti instructed to the Dhruva Maharaj also same first point, immediate first. Mamangalam tata bhungte para danas dukkadasta. Minute you enter into somebody else's karma, because Surichi has done this to you, then you also think inauspicious for her, let her suffer, let her die, let her do, let her. Then you will also enter the same reaction you will also get. Not only this life, it will continue until you stop that. So this is very important instruction of devotee. That means even though somebody may not appreciate you, somebody may be inimical to you, you still be giving your association. You try to help them, try to serve them. As Prabhupada did, our spiritual masters are doing it. Yeah, great association. You look at Vaisheshik Prabhu, Adhanath Maharaj, you name it, all our spiritual masters, when they meet, how they interact with each other, how they serve each other. Yeah, we have a lot to learn there. So this is what Dhruva Maharaj is regretting. How to act pure devotion service. I shouldn't ask for material things. I should always serve the spiritual master on a pure devotion service level, not looking for material benefits. What will I get? When will I go back home, back to Godhead? When will I get out of anarthas? Yes, you can think about it, not a problem. But think more broader. What I am doing? How am I helping Prabhupada? What contribution am I doing? How much percentage till now, 30, 40, 50 years? How much I'm going to do in the next few years I have in life? What I'm going to do? How I'm going to execute for each month, for each year? What I'm going to do? Where is the plan? Where is the execution? Dhruva Maharaj had the plan. 6 months time. He had the plan, clear plan from Narada Muni. He written down in his mind, in his intelligence. He exactly followed it. And Lord has appeared. If we follow even 10% of that of Dhruva Maharaj, then we will also become very determined. That's why Nectar Devotion proposes, I don't need to induce you again and again. Naturally, when you read Nectar Devotion, then you become enthusiastic. I don't need to repeat, follow these four regulative principles, wake up, chant, attend Mangalarati, come for Sankirtan, come for book. I don't need to repeat because you will get it. Prabhupada goes some directly instructions. Yeah, when you offer prayer also, you don't jump directly, Srimad Radharani, Jai Radhe. No, you don't do that. Because Prabhupada gives the verse. Look at this verse. Prabhupada writing a letter to somebody. Vandeham Sri Guru, Sri Yuta Padakamalam, Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha. It goes from spiritual master, Parampara, Panchatattva, then Radha and Krishna. It doesn't go directly to Radha and Krishna. Because that is the reason why it is there. When we chant, when we do anything, first spiritual, when you offer Bhoga, first spiritual master. That's why Prahlad Maharaj repeatedly going after that. I should do service to spiritual master. Yeah, don't ask me benefits. Don't ask me to come back home, back to Godhead with you. No, allow me to do something. Spiritual master has done so much. So this should be our contemplation. This is the key. So that's why Dhruva Maharaj is able to come to this perfection, because his contemplation on Narada Muni's instructions, pure devotional service. He regretting for that fact in this particular. So that's why when he went back home, what happened? Suruchi, her stepmother, hugged him. Completely, no more any envy, jealousy. Neither Dhruva Maharaj had it. First, he hugged only stepmother first, before even Suniti come into picture. See the result. Because of becoming pure devotion service, acting pure devotion service. Yes, that means this is the responsibility we have. Representative of Srila Prabhupada, wherever we go, at work, at home, wherever we are, we have a great responsibility to represent Srila Prabhupada properly. That means we have a great conduct to do. And it doesn't come so easily unless we follow our spiritual master. We submit so seriously, strenuously read proper books. Then only this consciousness one develops it. Not based on our sadhana. It comes by our advanced devotees, by spiritual master, by the Lord's causeless mercy. Only this attitude can be developed. We don't have this strength. So, with that context, we read the translation again. My Lord, by your unbroken transcendental glance, you are the supreme witness of all stages of intellectual activities. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness. Your existence in super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with six opulences, and you are eternally the master of the three modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entities. As Lord Vishnu, you maintain all the affairs of the entire universe, and yet you stand aloof and are the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Purport by Sri Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. An atheistic argument against the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead states that if God, the Supreme Person, appears and disappears and sleeps and awakens, then what is the difference between God and living entity? Dhruva Maharaj carefully distinguishing the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from that of the living entities. He points out the following differences. Lord is eternally liberated. Whenever he appears, even within this material world, he is never entangled by the three modes of material nature. That's why the 14th chapter, Prabhupada says, this is the most, even higher than 9th chapter. He is higher than 10th chapter. He is higher than whatever is spoken, even in 12th chapter. Because if one meditates on that particular chapter, one hears from spiritual master again and again, you are not the body, you are spirit soul, then you perfect your life. You will also become free from three modes of material nature. So that crucial, that chapter is 14th chapter. So because Lord is free, that means we have to contemplate on Lord's instruction and spiritual master instruction. That is what is called Parabhakti. He is therefore known as Three Adisha, the master of the three modes of material nature. So that's why we quoted that 4834. Narada Muni is speaking exactly same thing. If you operate with advanced devotees, same level juniors, and the way Narada Muni instructing Dhruva Maharaj, then we will also become free from three modes. Not lament. We don't become attached results. Somebody despises, somebody praises. Either way, you don't become na praharshe, na udvijay. You become indifferent. You do become indifferent. Because whatever you have done something maybe for spiritual master, maybe from by his mercy, this glorification is coming. You offer back to the parampara. It is not your credit to begin with. What qualification we have to come to pure devotions? It is Prabhupada's qualification and spiritual master and advanced devotees, their mercy that we have come here to this path and we are following it. It is not our so much credit where that great we have great qualities that we are getting the name, fame, prestige, or the praise from others. If you accept in that way, and gradually you become Titiksha Karunik automatically, we develop those 26 qualities. If you don't observe our mind, we can develop any, not even one quality we can develop. The external energy of the Lord is very strong, but the Lord, as the master of three modes of material nature, is ever liberated from the action and reaction of those modes. So he is therefore uncontaminated, as stated in his Upanishad. So that's why we are referring earlier class also that you have to understand the immediate cause and temporary cause. Immediate cause, permanent cause, Supreme Lord. So whatever may happen, somebody may say something, some reaction comes, some difficulty comes, you accept as the will of the providence, you move on. Be detached from it. You continue to become enthusiastic and execute no matter what condition, no matter what. Yeah, this is the last two verses of Sikshastra. No matter what, gopis are day after day, they are only loving Lord Krishna. Only Lord Krishna. Shyamasundar Vrajendra Krishna. Only. No other person. No other person. If you have the same attachment that to our spiritual master, I should follow, I should 100% give my efforts to please him, to serve him, to follow his instruction day after day till my last breath, then that is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Then our spiritual master's mercy, his association, he will always be present. As Prabhupada said, never a time I was not with my spiritual master. There is never a time, Prabhupada said, because he was always contemplating, always executing. Oh, my spiritual master is watching me. I'm not doing enough printing of books. I'm not distributing enough books. Prabhupada is always thinking, Lion Guru's instruction. If you follow some of it, at least, then we can also come to very easily come out of these three modes. The contamination of the material does not affect the Supreme Personality of God. It doesn't affect the devotee also, if you operate under the guidance of spiritual master. Krishna therefore says in the Bhagavad Gita that those who are rascals and fools think of him as an ordinary human being, not knowing Namam Dushkutram, what a verse, not knowing his Param Bhavam. So Param Bhavam refers to his being always transcendentally situated. Material contamination cannot affect him. It doesn't affect devotee also. When he understands this next purport. Another difference between the Lord and the living entity is that living entity is always in darkness. So that's why you have to remember the prayer of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Look at the last paragraph. Yogyata vichare nahi, kichu nahi paya. All I am made up of is your mercy, causeless mercy only. I have no qualification whatsoever. What qualification I have? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, great Acharya, seventh Goswami, is a Manjari, eternally serving in spiritual world, but he's submitting like that. He's showing what attitude we have to have with our spiritual master and our Guru Varga, with our advanced devotees, how we conduct. Even though he may be situated in mode of goodness, there are still so many things which are unknown to him. But he's not the same for Supreme. Yeah, Prabhupada himself said it. Even though he's Paramahamsa devotee, Prabhupada said, oh, my spiritual master is asking so many things about spiritual. Half of the things I didn't know, I didn't understand everything. But still, I patiently sat in front of him and listened to him. That was my only quality. Yeah. Whatever I tried to do, that is my only credit, Prabhupada said. So if we follow simply what Prabhupada said, Prabhupada did, we become wonderful, beautiful devotees. That's all. He knows past, present, future, and everything that is happening in everyone's heart. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Vedaham samvedani vartamanam charjam bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kachana. Nobody knows. He knows past, present, future. To the degree Lord gives that thing to Narada Muni, to our spiritual master, they will also know what goes on, what was the past. Prabhupada could know. Yeah, Lord is revealing. So the Lord is not part of the soul, he is unchangeable supreme soul, and living entities are his part and parcel. The living entity is forced to appear in this material world under the direction of Daivi Maya. But when the Lord appears, he comes by his own spiritual potency. This is the verse number 6 from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Immediately we have to, when Prabhupada is writing like this, you have to immediately remember the verse. That is scrutinizingly reading Prabhupada books. Yes. Sambhavami Atmamaya. By his own sweet will is appearing. He's not forced to appear like we are forced to appear. We are forced to suffer. Toothache, body ache, joint pain, this pain, that pain, regularly. Yes. Lord doesn't have it. He may have headache, transcendental headache, and gopis has to serve through Narada Muni. So that is their glorious service. But we don't have that kind of a thing. Besides that, a living entity is within the time of past, present, future. His life has a beginning, birth, and in the conditional state, his life ends with death. So that's why we should not think about what is immediate result, what is happening now. We should think about the permanent cause, the Supreme Lord. So and his representatives. Then you don't operate on three modes. But the Lord is Adi Purusha, the original person. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma offers his respect to Adi Purusha. There are also personalities, Isvara, Parama Krishna. Prabhupada is telling in Nectar yesterday, I was hearing. Our ministers are sitting here. He's also Isvara. You are all also Isvara. I'm also Isvara. I'm Isvara of my disciples. He's Isvara of some one minister. But there are so many ministers, so many Isvaras in this world, like that, in government, in so many countries. Demigods are also Isvaras. Like that, you have so many Isvaras. But who is the Supreme Isvara? That is Krishna. Isvara Parama Krishna. Out of many Isvaras, Lord Shiva is also Isvara. Or Parameswara. But who is the Isvara of all, the whole world, whole Brahmanda? That is only Lord Krishna. So that Lord Brahma is revealed it. But how many accept? Only few accept. Only the or acharyas accept. Ramanacharya Madhya have accepted. They have understood the essence. But others, they may not accept. They think something else. So because their contemplation on material objects are there, they don't follow the Acharya Parampara. They don't follow. They don't contemplate. They don't hear. So they don't go by their instructions. What to do? So we have to wait for fortunate position. Wait for the causeless mercy of devotees. Is the master of material, his intelligence is not broken under any circumstances. He stands aloof, although he is the maintainer of the whole creation, as stated in Vedas, Katha Upanishad. Jayadvaita Maharaj writing, I think, this book, Katha Upanishad, translating Katha Upanishad. Two verses comes to the mind immediately as soon as Katha Upanishad. Prabhupada, if you look at his books, this one verse, that means Lord is the eternal one person, single person. And there are so many innumerable. He is the supreme enjoyer, and then we are getting enjoyed when you give bliss, when you serve the Lord. Nityo Nityanam Chetanam. He is supremely conscious. We are conscious of teeny things, my wife or wife, husband, here and there. We are conscious of only small things, little surroundings. But he is conscious of the whole Brahmanda. What goes on spiritual, what goes on material world, all universes. And the other words you see this Uttishta Varan Prapta Jara Nibodhata. That means wake up, awake from your slumbering consciousness. Come to the path of Krishna consciousness, path of perfection, path of instruction given by spiritual master. Start acting on that. Be awake. Don't sleep. Those two are the key verses Prabhupada regularly quotes from Kathopanishad. The Lord is the supreme maintainer. The living entities are meant to serve him by offering sacrifices. For he is the rightful enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Therefore, everyone should engage himself in the devotion service of the Lord with his life, his riches, his intelligence, his words. This is the verse you look at 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Action Krishna Consciousness, verse number 16, 17. Tad buddhaya, tad atmana, tad nishta, tad parayana, jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. Meditates, your intelligence is fixed, you're determined, everything is engaged in the service of the Lord. Everything. Not a single thing you are seeing indifferent from the Lord. Everything is Lord and Guru's property, it becomes. So that is what disciples are supposed to do. So this is the original constitution position of the living entities. One should never compare the sleeping of an ordinary living entity to the sleeping of Supreme Personality of Godhead in the causal ocean. Neither we should see that as spiritual master sleeping. Hardly they sleep 2 hours, 1 hour, or no sleeping at all. 6 Goswamis or Sri Prabhupada. So their sleep is different. There is no stage at which the living entity can compare to the Supreme Person. The Mayavadi philosophers being unable to adjust. And some of the Mayavadi Prabhupada says, yeah, hiddenly they used to worship Radha and Krishna. Yeah, what to do? Because they become, so they don't know what else, how do you get strength? Externally, they outside, they don't show that they are worshiping Radha and Krishna. Sometimes they do worship Radha and Krishna. Sometimes, of course, this is Pancha Upasana, illusory Vishnu, Prabhupada says. Yeah, this is a conversation between my Guru Maharaj and Shankaracharya in Jagannath Puri. It's an amazing conversation, what he responds in the same way as Prabhupada writing here. Yes, their understanding is completely different. It is not in line with any of our 4 bona fide Acharya and Sampradaya. So they can't understand the key instructions of Lord Krishna. So Mayavadi philosophers being unable to adjust all this come to the conclusion of impersonalism or voidism. So the key instructions of this chapter is so meditate on spiritual master's instructions and you submit to the Lord. Otherwise, you can't even offer prayers. What to speak of do anything in this world? Yeah, Dhruva Maharaj completely forgot. He became blank. Because so humble, then he's submitting to the Lord. Lord saw that and then he touched on his head with conch shell or spiritual master or Guru Varga, gives blessings, loving glance, or they put their hand or they hug you, whatever shape or form. By their mercy, then we can also awaken from our ignorance, awaken from our lower modes, passion, ignorance, and we operate as an ideal disciple, ideal student. And then Prabhupada will be very happy to see that. So let us offer our prayers to Lord Advaita Acharya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Both are coming up. It's very important without their submission. Like Prabhupada submitted to both of them before coming to Western world. Because he knows without Advaita Acharya, he's the one who brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he doesn't give mercy, what will you do? You can't do anything. So you have to get strength from Mahavishnu and Sadasiva incarnation of Lord Advaita Acharya. Pray sincerely so that we can celebrate on Sunday, fasting till noon. So, and then January 30th also. Contemplate now onwards, meditate what each of us are going to do for this festival, how I'm going to contribute, how I'm going to help. So this should be our consciousness as we have to draw this from Dhruva Maharaj. That's why he's regretting. I should have done better. Narad Muni has given his time, valuable instruction. I wasted it. I shouldn't have wasted it. So if you think the same way, I should not have wasted my 40, 50 years, 60 years, and let us do something now. Let us correct ourselves and do something valuable for Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master. That becomes our glorious life. and we can take back our family's action. 21 generation can go back, come back to Godhead if you operate on that consciousness. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Vandana Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, we'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead in this wintry week. And we'd like to offer our praise to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram.
Shri Nrsingo Jai Nrsingo Jai Jai Nrsingo Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Mugravira
Ugraveram Mahavishnu, Jalantam Savatomukham,
Nrsingo
Narsimham
Bhishanam
Vishnam
Bhajanam
Bhadram,
Yamati
Mrityu
Namami Antarshaka
Namami,
Bhagwan Ki Jai
Ki Jai,
Prahlad Ki Jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samar Vaishnavas.
Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namaha. Vaishnavinda
Ki
Ki
Jai,
Jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam
Ki
Ki
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada Ki
Ki Jai.
God Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol.
Hari 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 Hari.
Thank you everybody. Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.